Hi guys, I'm Steven with Garage Across the Border. Today we're going to be looking at a vehicle in a segment Mitsubishi no longer participates in with the Mitsubishi Montero Sport or Pajero Sport depending where you're at in the world. Go over some of the features, size, passenger capacity, value for the money, and the MPG you're going to be getting. Okay guys, here's the vehicle. Totally giving Lexus GX 460 vibes with the large grille, the way the rear end is with the tail lights. It's going to be in the same kind of category I would think is like maybe not the current generation Toyota 4Runner, but pre 2025. Here we got another one in white. We get some other angles here. Okay, here's a dealer picture. The dealer pictures always kind of look a little bit AI, but I see these all over Mexico City. They're really, really popular. I see them at grocery stores, malls. Like this is to me what their version of the Toyota 4Runner would be because I don't think they got the 4Runner here until this year, this 2025. Um, Here we go with the interior. Okay, you can see you got dual 8-inch touchscreens, all your buttons on the steering wheel, push to start. On the left side, kind of Porsche, a lot of soft touch materials on the interior. To me, these are like a luxury SUV here, definitely, compared to some of the other offerings down in Latin America. Here we go with the gauges. So here you have a full digital display. Prior, I think, to 2023, they had actual gauges and stuff. It wasn't just a screen. But this, I think, is somewhat customizable, but it's a nice looking gauge cluster, nothing horrible. I think it would totally fit in the American market. I don't think it's far off of anything we have. There's nothing to me that sticks out that screams budget vehicle. Here's some more views of like where the four-wheel drive is and stuff. Let's see here. So you have your knob there. What I really like about this vehicle in this market, as opposed to in the US market, is the HVAC is not integrated completely into the infotainment system. So it still sits below. So like I'm not scrolling through the infotainment or it's on a bar on the bottom. Like it's a much easier for me, I guess. I don't know. Some people like it, I guess. There's another view there. Okay, here you got your steering wheel, you got all your buttons. I think it's a nice looking steering wheel. I feel like the generation before just had way too big of a pillowy area for the airbag. Wasn't really my vibe. This looks much better. They also have the same wheel on the Mitsubishi Expander, which is an MPV they have down here. I'll be doing a video on. And here you kind of get you can see the contrasting colors of the interior. I like that they offer this red and the black as opposed to just black or tan. There's a lot more color options available for vehicles down here, even with Nissan. Even their base models have way more color options for their interiors. They're way more drawn to the color, I think, than we are in the US. And then here's another view of the interior. It's got the diamond stitch on the seats, which I think looks really, really nice. And I just think this color looks really, really good. And I like that the screen, it's not just like an iPad slapped on top of the dash. It's actually like in the dash. I think it looks much better. And it's probably helps with sun glare, I would think as well. But yeah, all these soft touch materials look really, really nice. Here you got a view of your back seat. So this, as opposed to the Forerunner, is 7 passengers, I think, on pretty much all of the models. Definitely can fit three. The third row I think is actually usable. Like I wouldn't want to do a 12-hour road trip on it, but it's definitely usable for an average adult and definitely usable for small kids, which is kind of what it's intended for. And you get another view right here of that. So there's no diamond stitching on the third row, which kind of does scream like budget. Like they kind of added it at the very end, but it's still nice to have. It folds down into the floor. So definitely a thing for convenience. And there's cup holders back there. There is HVAC in the rear of the vehicle, which you would definitely need in a lot of the markets where this is sold. Okay, guys, here we got a view of the walk around and of the interior. You got your walk up. You can push the button if you got the key fob in your pocket. Soft touch materials, power windows, power locks. There you got your push button start. Controls for your seat. Yeah, I think that diamond stitching just kind of takes it up a notch on this vehicle. Got your screen there for your startup. Tilt, telescoping rear steering wheel. The thing that bothers me about the hood is that there's no struts. It's just the pole. Because like on a lot of lesser models, like on Renault and Peugeot, they offer that the struts. So I think that's kind of like a bad afterthought, especially for such an expensive vehicle. All your buttons on your steering wheel, your audio, cruise control. This does have the collision mitigation system on it. It does have the full surround camera. All that kind of, all those kind of goodies that are come to expected in an SUV in the United States. This SUV down here does offer. It is an 8-speed transmission. I'll be putting the specs for the vehicle up there. Power lift gate. Yeah, that rear end totally looks Lexus GX to me. I think this rear seat room is really good. You got your center armrest there with built-in cup holders. Another nice feature. Here, it'll show you how you get into the third row. Like I said, I wouldn't want to use it for a 12-hour trip, but for short trips and for kids, it's definitely more than usable. Yeah, this is a nice looking SUV. I don't know why they wouldn't offer this in the US as opposed to the Outlander, the 7-passenger one they had. I think this is a much better offering that would appeal to way more people in the US market as they like their body on frame higher up SUVs, and this gives that. Okay, guys, I got the specs up for you on the screen here. You do get a much smaller amount of horsepower, only 216 in the Mitsubishi, 210 foot-pounds of torque, as opposed to the 4Runner, you're getting 270 and 278. But where the Mitsubishi definitely is the winner here is with that 8-speed transmission. You're getting way better gas mileage. They're advertising like low 20s in town, up to 30 on the highway, which that must be at like 55 to 65 miles per hour, which isn't unrealistic because I've been on the highway a lot of places here, and most of these highways you're not going past 70. So if you are, it's just getting dangerous. There is a diesel option available. I don't see it as often here, which is surprising considering the price of diesel here is only 1 or 2 pesos different than the regular price of gas, which is about $5 a gallon, give or take, depending on the day. Gas prices don't really fluctuate as much here as they do in the US, so, you know, you still need a budget for it, but it's going to be a higher budget. Okay, guys, that's my video on the Mitsubishi Montero Sport. I don't know why they wouldn't offer this in the American market. I think it would do much better than a lot of the other stuff Mitsubishi's currently offering there. I think this would outdo the current Outlander by far. Um, I don't know if that Outlander is doing that much better in gas mileage as opposed to this. I don't know if it's, how much it would cost to bring it in. But this is also available in a Rally Sport, although I haven't really seen it around here or at any of the dealers. But let me know what you guys think. Would you be interested in this vehicle if you live down here as opposed to the 4Runner? Um, there's also the regular Montero. I'm going to be doing a video on that one as well that the US doesn't get anymore. My next video, I'm going to be doing mid-sized trucks. I think about starting with the Peugeot Landtrek, which is right here. I've been seeing them around lately. It's a really nice looking truck. We're also going to do the L200 from Mitsubishi, the Volkswagen Amarok, the Toyota Hilux. We're going to do a generation of the Frontier that the US didn't get. So stick around. Let me know what you guys want to see. And I'll see y'all next week.